Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're over on the YouTube account and we continue looking at our collections. Now overall today, I'm going to be sharing with you a guide that is over on the Chinese servers. Now I did drop it into Google Translate, so it's a really rough guide, but I want to run through it because it has a general overlooking on how you should build these out and which heroes are going to be using what collections and at what level are they going to be using the collections. So it's really imperative to know when we start building these out. Now, also with the collections, you can use them in the Cursed Realm and the Nightmare Corridor. It doesn't use the traditional artifacts or the class-specific artifacts, but the collections can go in that game mode, which means if you want to be competitive in the game mode, you're going to have to collect these collections and really build them out for a bunch of different heroes. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. All right, guys, so here it is. This came up on Reddit a little bit ago, but this is from the Chinese servers. And as you can see, we do have all of our different collections. So as we kind of scroll down here, you can see this left-hand side has all of the different collections that are currently available. And looking at the heroes that are utilizing that, and this is kind of the build or the methodology behind it. So even looking here at the Warrior Time or the Time Demon, looking at getting a level 2 artifact. Now, I don't know if that is just the second tier, as in tier 1, the 2 stars and the 3 stars. Most of them you can see are at 2 stars, and that's essentially what I believe it is building it up. So actually adding the 1 level on there, which you'll see some of these do not require the 1 level. But overall, scrolling in, looking at, again, the Time Demon or the Zolrath artifact, you can see we have 4 heroes that are building this. And also it does kind of break it down a little bit into what you're looking for the offensive and for the defensive attributes when it comes to building these out. So these, again, are the recommended collections. And again, this is in it says the Australian priority. I don't know about the translation in here. And also some of it could not translate. But you can see, even looking here, for instance, the first one being Tamara's, we have insight in there, we have full attack. So this is kind of, I don't want to get crowd controlled and I'm going to buff everybody else. Now, Tamara's, of course, a really big buffer into AFK Arena. You add on full attack, which of course is going to buff the team even further. Then they have damage, and then they have resistance for the defensive. Now the same going through Zolrath, the attack rating in here. And I know it's incredibly hard to see just because of how it breaks it through Google Translate, but you can get a general idea of how these are. And again, I will put a link down below so you can check it out. So looking at our second one, now this of course is the warrior one that we're looking at, again, getting it to that level 2. But these are some of the strongest heroes that we see within AFK Arena. The awakened version of Athalia, we have Rem, we have Brutus, we have Saurus, we have Anasta, all of the heroes that are using this specific relic. And also looking the combination of these 9 heroes in the warrior specification, that's about all the ones that you see currently in formations. Now, of course, they didn't break out any of the older heroes or heroes that we don't see a lot of utility in, but this is about all of the warrior class specifics that you're building. Again, building this up to level 2. So looking here at I believe these are the tanking ones. So looking at the Duke, again, this one, you don't have to use that level up. So make sure you save the totems to utilize it for some of the other ones. But this one, we do have Kanisa and Rook, we have Naruko, and we do have Gideus in here. Again, looking at the insight, there is mastery. You can see full attack rate in there, even getting some attack, some proficiency. So building out a few of these tanks, absolutely different. Now looking at the tank, the Broken Body Spell Guide, this one, again, going to level 2, but here we have our massive tanks, guys. The awakened version of Shmira going in for full tank, or full attack within that. Vathiel attack, looking at rate at Grez, full attack, looking at Albedo, full attack. So we're bringing tanks into formations that have a lot of survivability. We're putting a lot more damage into the group that they're running in, which is going to be interesting. Like even Vathiel, guys, we have attack and full attack in here. Same with Grez, attack and full attack. Going to make a really big difference on the amount that you can actually get in here and be able to build these tanks out. Now looking at our Ranger, both of our Ranger artifacts, you can see this one goes to level 3. So actually looking at the Ranger collection that looks like Athalia, they recommend taking this to level 3. And you can see it is going to stack attack power, which is kind of crazy, guys, because when you look at the heroes that are within here, the awakened version of Leica, we have Baden, we have Thane, we have Raku, Ezio, and we have Olgath. Short of probably Raku and Ezio, even Ezio is being used a lot of places right now, but they are stacking attack between all of these heroes. Then you couple it with having a level 3 relic, which is going to buff additional stacks on there, which is going to be, again, kind of crazy for this one specifically, and looking at a few for these fit. Now, looking at the Ranger one, which is the Sandstorm Fang, this only has to be on level 1. So again, you're going to have the ability to not go ahead and use those level ups. So making sure that you do have those. And then of course we have Baden and we have Mulan down here, attack. And then it looks like attack, all that insight down here, getting a little bit more life, getting a little bit more defense when it comes to building them out. Now, interesting with this one. So with the mind or the Mage Mind, this again only goes to, well, this one's on level 2 right here, which is summoning up the Demon Servant. But you can see with the crowd control aspect, we have Matria and we have Leonardo da Vinci in here, which is going to be using these. And again, these collections can be used in the Curse Realm and the Nightmare Corridor. So having them is going to be an absolute game changer. Now looking at the Mage one, which of course is the Oden, this again at that level 3. Now you'll see right here, this is going to make a game-changing difference. If you get this collection at level 3, you recover 30 points of energy, and I believe it is per cast or per alt. They said this one was incredibly broken, again, not knowing the translation of it. But when you look at the awakened version of Belinda, when you look at Demia in there, we got Scarlet in there, and then we do have Amelia. Looking at attack, the offensive and critical hit, guys, you want to buff up the ability for Belinda to do damage. And here we have Insight, of course, going to make sure we land that crowd control. Full attack and attack, and critical hit there for Scarlet, making it a big one. Then we get into our support. Now, overall, guys, this auxiliary trader is what we're seeing a lot of people run. And you can see even here, guys, it is at level 3 on this one as well. But looking at what we have. So the awakened version of Athalia, we have Lucilla, we have Ivan, we have Lavatoon, we have Palmer in here, the awakened version of Solus and the twins. These are huge, guys. And when you look across the board right there, adding full attack, adding insight, adding full attack, you're taking some of the best support heroes within AFK Arena. You are stacking more attack, not only on those heroes, which most of them are triggered by having a higher attack rating, but you're stacking full attack. So allowing any damage dealer within that to build this. Now, what I'm thinking is, let's say like the awakened version of Belinda or a couple other heroes, where if you're running full attack on Ivan, you're running, let's say, a full attack on Lavatoon, you're running an attack and a full attack on Palmer. If you're putting a multitude of these heroes in the same formation, guys, not only are they getting stronger with the attack that you're buffing in there, but that awakened version of Belinda is benefiting from the full attack, which again is percentage based. So the higher you push those percentages, the more damage these heroes are going to be creating, which again is the reason why it seems pretty broken with these collections. Then of course the final one, the Shining Scale Butterfly, taking this one to level 2 right there. So we have Liberta, we have the original version of Aziz, we have Halos, and we have Merlin. Again, attack, full attack, critical strike mastery, full attack, all attack. You can see when it comes to our support heroes, the attack aspect in here is huge. Toughness, now the healing shield, whole life in there, as well as some resilience. So again, creating the survivability around these heroes. And I feel like this, honestly, with the collections, it is going to be game changing. Without a doubt, it really is going to be game changing. Similar to when we've seen signature items, when we've seen furniture introduced, when we've seen engraving introduced, and now we are seeing this game mode. It is really going to replace the class-specific artifacts. Now it says down here, there is no single answer. So guys, the viability, or actually the utility of all of these heroes to get the collections built in the manner that you see here, this is really just a general huge guideline of what you should be aiming for when it comes to building these out, when it comes to collections, because again, it's going to be near impossible at this point. And I mean, I'm thinking if we're farming 7 collections every single week, going to make a big difference, guys. But when you start getting into the next coming months, you're going to start having a lot of pretty decent built collections. They're going to refine the system through the Ghoulish Gallery. And then, of course, as we do see new heroes released to AFK Arena, we're going to have to build additional collections that are going to go on them as well. All right, guys, again, I will put a link down this below so you can kind of bookmark it, see what it's all about. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.